Okay. Tell me I can't and I'll prove you wrong is the motto of our second speaker tonight, Cyndi Wilson. Growing up in an environment where women, and especially those of color, were actively discouraged from pursuing careers in technology, Cyndi Wilson showed the naysayers that not only can women of color excel in technology, but also juggle major activities such as working full-time, attending college full-time, and raising her daughter simultaneously. Cyndi, a six-time distinguished Toastmaster. That's right, ladies and gentlemen in Toastmasters, a six-time distinguished Toastmaster, is the founder of the Omni-Pro Speakers Bureau, District 83. And she is excited to participate as a guest speaker tonight. Although the pandemic is not yet over, Cyndi will encourage and inspire you to continue to be resilient and strong because the human spirit can rise above anything to find the best overcome a bad situation. Let me repeat that because I don't know if it came out right. Cyndi will encourage and inspire you to continue to be resilient and strong because the human spirit can rise above anything to find the best overcome a bad situation. Please welcome Cyndi Wilson.
Thank you, Dwana. Thank you so much. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, we all have them. When something profound happens, we remember where we were when it occurred. The assassination of John F. Kennedy. 9/11. We don't even need to say the year. March 2020. The month that the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, also known as COVID-19, stopped the world. I remember a line from a song that says, "I'll stop the world, I'll melt with you." And melt we did. Cemented somewhere and not necessarily where we wanted to be. Streets deserted, buildings abandoned, transportation halted, jobs shutting down. All we needed to see was some tumbleweed rolling down the Avenue of the Americas in Manhattan. Two of my friends were on a cruise of a lifetime, which turned into a cruise from hell because no port would allow them to dock. We were melted into our media outlets as we watched or listened to the dire news. We watched as the number of souls lost increased and asked ourselves, how long before this bad situation ends? Can any good come out of this? Well, in spite of the gloom and doom we've experienced over these past 19 months, we have survived. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this interaction. We are resilient and we work to find the best outcome in a bad situation. Well, what do I mean by that? A show of hands, please. How many of you learned to bake bread? See a couple? No, not bread in a bread machine. I mean from scratch. The waking of the yeast, the kneading of the dough, that wholesome smell of the finished product. Well, since some supermarkets had limited supplies, we searched through the corners of our house and found those cookbooks that had been sitting in those corners, looking for materials everywhere, and we worked to feed ourselves and our families. The flavor of food that didn't contain preservatives opened up our taste buds, our nostrils, and our senses, And we learned a new skill and felt that satisfaction of accomplishment. Plus, that bread probably didn't last and it was gone before evening and you wanted to bake more. So I talked a little bit about interaction. Use the chat windows, please. Tell us what new skill you learned during the pandemic. We're Toastmasters, so I don't expect anybody to be shy. What new skills did you learn? Ah, someone found fish tacos. Aren't they the greatest things? Becoming a Zoom master. That is a lot of skill. Got better at crocheting? Ah, meatloaf muffins. That sounds like an interesting combination. I might like that. Pilates. Okay. Prepared some new French recipes. Ah, Nutella Danishes. Oh, that has to be absolutely cool. I really do like that. Well, thank you for your sharing. Well, what did Cyndi do? I made bread. I made granola. I made pasta. I found 99 ways to cook chicken. What's the common theme that I'm talking about? Food. Honey, I can cook. I can make a carrot cake that will make you want to slap your mama. I went through my cabinets for supplies and almost emptied them out. Then I realized I needed supplies. I needed to go to the supermarket. At the time, I had not left my house for over 4 weeks. I was totally afraid to leave the safety of my home. Yes, I did go out on my porch to throw out the occasional kitty poopy bag, but that was about as far as I went. I am part of that certain population that they talk about who's vulnerable to COVID-19, but I still had to get over that fear of entering into a virus-laden environment to find the best outcome of a bad situation. Some more interaction stuff. Tell me in the chat, how did you feel leaving the safety of your home the first time in that pandemic? How did you feel? You had quarantined yourself. How did you feel leaving the safety of your home? Ah, scary. It was scary. Like a bear coming out of hibernation. Yes, you were afraid, not comfortable, checking it out visually as if it was 6 feet apart and I didn't want anyone close to me. So true, so true. Because I had to make sure I could protect myself from the environment, from the invading viruses, from the invading people. So what did I do? I had masks. I had gloves. I had goggles. I had a hat. I had a spray. Plus also, I wanted to make sure that I was at least socially distanced, at least 6 feet. I looked like I was a World War II throwback, but I was ready. I took a couple of deep breaths and ventured out into the world of special hours at the store with one-way aisles and no one paying attention to the signs, including me. But I am out there in my personal protective equipment to find supplies for my home. I could not believe the scarcity of the items on the shelves. But there was one thing that was not scarce: attitude, paranoia, fighting over toilet paper. I was getting a pack of towels. There were 2 packs there. I only wanted one of them. As I am reading the label, because I want to know if it's 1 ply or 2, and those toilet paper connoisseurs know the difference between them. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw this hand sneaking in. That hand grabbed the second pack, snatched it back, and that pack and the person holding it was running down the aisle. But I only wanted one pack. You didn't have to do that. Just pick the darn thing up. But I just wanted that one pack. And you could not leave your cart unattended because it might get raided. But who knew an app would lead to the road of salvation? Those checkout lines were long and tedious. But we would find people who would try to cut the line, smiling and saying that they didn't understand English. No matter what, there was someone waiting in that line who spoke whatever language was involved and let them know in no uncertain terms that they needed to find the back of that line and find it right now if they wanted to continue breathing. For me, the app allowed me to pick any line I wanted, no matter how full the cart. Of course, I would pick the express line. The cashier would see me. She would give me the evil eye when she saw my cart, but then I would hold up the screen to my app. And she would then welcome me into the store as one of its premier shoppers because I had the ability to check in and check out in less than 2 minutes. So I'd go home and unload my treasures so that I could make more bread, more granola, more pasta, and find 99 more ways to cook chicken. Did any of you join the gig economy? Uber, Grubhub, DoorDash, other activities? We looked into ourselves to discover that inner strength that we could use to turn a profit out of our skills. In the face of adversity, we find marketable talent. Our entrepreneurial spirit had laid dormant in our being, and this bad situation had set it free. Our spirit is like the phoenix that rises from the flames. Pam Winter knows what I mean. And this bad situation had set us free. Our spirit did that. We knew it would fly to the sky and be victorious. All because we found our hidden talent, our hidden strength. So use the chat box again. If you were able to join the gig economy, what did you do? Let us know what you did. More public speaking opportunities came out of it from someone. Yes, Instacart. I love that. I didn't shop for 6 months. That's great. Peapod was pretty popular too. What other things did you do? Anyone else? We'll keep working. Just think about it. What else did you do? Join clubs in many places, Charlotte, North Carolina, New York City, and others. You started a business. Congratulations. Started 2 Toastmasters clubs. Congratulations. Oh, you got a puppy. How cute. And same thing with Mary was it gave it up and made it purposeful. Shopping on Amazon. Now, that is a skill. That is truly a skill. Well, my strength was carrot cake, but I spent too much time eating it instead of selling it. Also, until last Monday, it was really illegal to sell baked goods out of your home. Not that we paid any attention to the law. However, food did not seem to be the right vehicle for me at this time. I am still an adjunct at Hudson County Community College. Before the pandemic, I was assigned primarily to one government-based client in Hudson County. I provided educational services for them at their work sites. The pandemic cut my legs from beneath me because my client closed all of their locations. Although many companies have some type of online presence, this client did not. One of my passions is education. So I offered to provide their courses to them via an online setting, but they were not ready to do that. I needed to look elsewhere for work, so I spoke with my employer contact at the college, and I developed and delivered 2 courses that were offered to the public and delivered online. The first course was how to deliver bad news during a pandemic. How apropos can you get? The second course was on verbal communications, determining your personality style, how to use that style in conversations with others, how to construct an elevator speech and not babble. Boy, does that sound like Toastmasters? I also started to transform my in-person courses to an online environment, and I learned that you should never have a single client, even when they ask for exclusivity. I started and I continue to find that good outcome of a bad situation. So here we stand today, stronger than ever. We made it through this bad situation. We are the good outcome. We always talk about how this day is the first day of the rest of our lives, and in that manner, we start anew with every dawn. We survived this. We made it. We got this, baby. And we will keep fighting for our physical and mental health. Well, this pandemic is coming to an end, but it is not over. So I urge you to continue to be safe in your attitudes, your actions, and your environment. We're human and we can conquer this. I want to leave you with this thought from Diane O'Leary, and it talks about the origins of health. And it says, health doesn't come from nutritious foods, vitamins, or medicines alone. It comes from peace of mind, peace of heart, and peace of soul. It is magnified by laughter, love, and faith. May you find peace and good health, not only for this day, but for a lifetime. And remember, Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen and friends, you are the best outcome to a bad situation. Namaste. Back to our program, Madam District Director.